Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. Today I wanted to make a quick video on the new Gaerne SG22s and how they compare to the SG12s. Now, I just got these pair in. I did ride in one other pair for like 1.7 hours. So I don't have a ton of time on the new boot, but you know, enough to make a quick comparison and give you my initial thoughts. So here is my 2-year-old SG12. It's been a great boot. Love them. I will say that from a previous right ankle injury and some other major complications of the foot, my right foot is bigger than my left foot. Most people have one foot that's bigger than the other, but for mine, it can swell up at times, you know, just at rare times and stuff. So for me, I take a size 11 in a Gaerne, and I also wear a size 11 in a running shoe. So they run pretty true to size to me. I also wear pretty thin socks. I don't wear thick Moto socks. I wear like the thin Fox socks, which I like. With those socks, I have enough comfort in the boot, whether it is the SG12s that I have been wearing or the new ones. So just to get that out of the way for basic context, you know, in a sneaker, I take a size 11 and I take a size 11 in these. And, you know, I do have a foot that swells up considerably and it's still comfortable enough in the 11. So they don't make half sizes, and a 12 is too big. What I find with the 12 is, you know, I can't get it underneath the shifter a lot of times. It's just too bulky. So I tend to run the 11s and they're comfortable for me. And then once they break in, they're pretty good. All right. So what's the first thing I noticed wearing the, you know, these new SG22s is the size of the boot. So if you take a look, what you will notice is on the left, the front of the SG12 comes to a point. It's more pointy, right? I think you can kind of see that in the camera here. The SG22 is more, it's a little bit more wider and it comes more gradually to the front. So it gives you a teeny bit more toe room. Now, one of the big differences I noticed right off the bat though is on the 22, there is less up and down room for your toe. So I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but the 12 is considerably higher here than here. And you do feel that in the boot. I don't think it is, you know, anything that detracts me or, you know, annoys me, but I just notice I have less up and down toe room in the boot. So that's one thing. The other thing I noticed right off the bat is this area, like around the ankle and the ankle support, has a little bit more room and it fits better to me. That's what I noticed right off the bat. So like with the SG12s, you have a really tight fitting ankle and it feels good once it's locked in. But I feel like with the new 22, you can easily see that, you know, you can feel when you're wearing the boot that it's just more comfortable. And, you know, it feels a little bit less like a moto boot and more like a, you know, a normal shoe you would put on. You still have that snug feeling, but it's not like the 12. So the last thing I would mention is that I notice is under the arch. So right under here, for some reason, I don't know why, but I do feel like it's a little higher when you're in the boot. It's almost like I feel like I have something under my arch, like a small marble or a little golf ball or something. I don't know why I feel like that, but it does to me. So, you know, quick first initial impressions. I like the 22 better because the ankle feels better to me. There's a little bit more room in there. It feels more supportive in there. and it's less constricting, I feel like. So if you've ever broken an ankle and had to pull it out of a boot, you know what I'm talking about. And while that's a good thing in some ways, I feel like comfort-wise, these 22s are a little better than the 12s. The other thing I like is the wider, slightly wider. Now, don't think that if you like the 12s, you're going to hate the 22s, because it's not like floppy, it's just different in the front. I don't really think they're, per se, a ton wider. I think it's just they did a better job of gradually coming together at the front of the boot here, versus on these ones, they kind of came in pretty tight. So I do like the toe box of the new one. You know, if I'm being honest, which I am, while I like the wider, more gradual toe box shape, because it is a little bit more comfortable for me. And I feel like when you shift the bike now, you know, on these old ones, you know, I could shift it fine with those, but the new one just slips in there a little bit easier because there's less up and down. But, you know, if I'm nitpicking here, I kind of wish they would have left a little bit more height in there, like the old one, but not at the cost of going back to that old shape. So if I had to pick between the two boots right now, I would definitely grab the 22s. Last thing I'd mention is they, for whatever reason, feel a little softer right out of the box. So these ones I haven't worn yet because I sent the other pair back. But the first pair I had, you know, these feel the same way. They're just a little bit softer everywhere. When you wear them, you can feel that. The other thing you'll notice quickly is on the back here. I don't know if you can tell. You know, there's a little bit difference of the shape and whatnot. So overall, I think the 22 is a slightly better boot. You know, on a 1 to 10, now that I have the 22s, I give the SG12s like a 9.2 maybe, and I give these SG22s probably a 9.8 or something. Just I think overall a little bit more comfortable, a little better fitting. And if you're looking for a premium boot, you know, I know there's other brands too, like Alpine Stars and even some of the Fox ones. But for me, the reason why I run the Gaerne is maybe I'm old school or whatever, but I just feel like there's a little bit more support in these. The Alpine Stars and the Fox ones, I feel are like wearing a sneaker, so I'm definitely a little bit more comfortable in those, but I don't necessarily know if I've got the support, and I'm sure they have great support. But for me, I prefer to have a little bit thicker, a little heavier feeling boot, and these new SG22s, I think are an improvement over the 12s. And where I've only been running the one pair of boots for 2 years, kind of a pain in the ass to keep them clean and all that. So I like to have two boots, so now I'll rotate them and hopefully they'll last twice as long. Anyways, make sure to give me your feedback. Let me know if you got a set of 22s, what your thoughts are on them as well. As always, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.